तर सलावात अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद। आज की इस मजलिस का बाकायदा आगाज किया जाता है। ये मुहर्रम हराम की 9वीं मजलिस 1445 हिजरी बमुताबिक 2023 ईस्वी आज इस बारगाह मैनचेस्टर में जाफरिया इस्लामिक सेंटर अलमारूफ 404 सेंटर में आगाज़ किया जाता है। मैं तिलावत कलाम पाक के लिए मुल्तमिस हूँ हमारे नन्हे कारी जनाब इब्राहिम हुसैनी से कि वो आएँ और तिलावत कलाम पाक पढ़ें। एक मरतबा मिलकर दुरूद पढ़ लीजिए। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद।
अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। वश्शम्सि वदुहाहा वल्क़मरि इज़ा तलाहा वन्नहारि इज़ा जल्लाहा वल्लैलि इज़ा यग़शाहा वस्समाइ वमा बनाहा والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها كذبت ثمود بطغواها إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها ولا يخاف عقباها العلي العظيم.
माशाअल्लाह आसन। इनकी सेहत व सलामती के लिए एक मरतबा बुलंद आवाज़ से दुरूद पढ़ लीजिए। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद। आज इंशाअल्लाह हम यहाँ पर मिलकर बहुज़ूर सैयद शुहदा पुरसा पेश करेंगे। आज की ये रात शब आशूर की रात होगी। इंशाअल्लाह मगरिब के बाद उर्दू में लेक्चर होगा और तमाम पुरसादारान इमाम मज़लूम यहाँ पर मिलकर खानवादे रसूल का पुरसा बहुज़ूर सैयदा कायनात बहुज़ूर इमाम ज़माना बहुज़ूर अहलबैत कराम पेश करेंगे। एक मरतबा इस शब के की गई इबादत की मकबूलियत के लिए बुलंद आवाज़ से दुरूद पढ़िए। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद। अब मैं नहायत इज़्ज़त व एहतराम से मुल्तमिस हूँ जनाब किबला मौलाना सैयद आले इमरान रिजवी से कि वो रौनक अफरोज़ मेंबर हों और इंग्लिश में लेक्चर दें। एक मरतबा मिलकर बुलंद आवाज़ से दुरूद पढ़िए। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद। नाराए तकबीर, नाराए तकबीर, नाराए रिसालत, नाराए रिसालत, नाराए हैदरी, हैदरी, हुसैनियत, यजीदियत, यजीदियत और मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद सलावत।
May I request the Mu'mineen to come in front of me so that I see who I am talking to, inshallah. It makes an atmosphere of the Majlis of Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرض بأبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين ولعن الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من يومنا هذا إلى قيام يوم الدين. فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وفرقانه الحميد وقوله الحق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالكم وأنفسكم ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون يغفر لكم ذنوبكم ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ومساكين طيبة في جنات عدن ذلك الفوز العظيم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Community believers, brothers and sisters in faith, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. الحمد لله الذي جعلنا من المتمسكين ببداية أمير المؤمنين والأئمة عليهم السلام. أعظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بالحسين عليه السلام وجعلنا وإياكم من الطالبين بثاره مع وليه الإمام المهدي من آل محمد عليهم السلام. صلوات. Very quickly, these 10 nights passed. It looked like the Muharram just came, and you see, you're already facing the night before Ashura. And it's the biggest tragedy that is going to happen in the morning, from the morning to the time of the Asr tomorrow. And indeed, this night is in itself is kind of a Shab al-Qadr. Why? Because this is the night when Imam Hussain al-Islam is distributing najat, salvation. Yes, indeed, he presented the biggest sacrifice from the family of the Prophet. But this night, whenever this night befalls, and we are fortunate enough to witness it, that is an opportunity to turn, to change the camps. What is the changing of the camps? We all know that. Even a person like Hurr, who was before this night, he is the one who brought Imam Hussain al-Islam and his family into the desert of Karbala. He is the one who stopped water from Imam Hussain. He is the one, yes, this was the order of Yazid and Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad, the governor of Kufa. But who was implementing this initially? Hurr. What kind of, I'm not using the word, but what kind of man he was just before this night? Man, Hurr can make his fortune in one night from Jahannam to Jannah, and not an ordinary Jannah, but the Jannah of Hussain alayhi salam. We discussed the vastness of Jannah. Jannah is vast. We have no idea how big is this. But wherever Aba Abdullah is, these Shuhadai Karbala are with him. Other than Ahlulbayt, from the companions of the Imams, Imam Hussain and Islam got the best of the companions. And they are where Imam is. So imagine the status of Hurr. One night before he was ending in Jahannam. And when the night passed, in the morning, he changed the camp of the hellfire and with the camp of the Jannah, Jannah of Hussain alayhi salam, say salawat. And inshallah, this night provides us the opportunity. Wherever we are, whatever we were doing in our lives, this is the night we will say, Oh Aba Abdullah, we are sinners. We have made a lot of mistakes. We have done a lot of wrongdoings. Are we as bad as Hurr before, the night before? Did we bring any Ahlulbayt into a desert? Did we harass any Ahlulbayt? No, we didn't. We are not a sinner like him. But when he can get a salvation like this, can I get some portion of it from this night? And inshallah, we will discuss some of the aspects in which a man, a person, can change his fate and fortune from the extreme bad end to the extreme good end. Inshallah, we'll see how much time is available to us, and we'll try to focus on this night. And I will ask forgiveness from you, Mu'min, as well. You are just tolerating me for past 9 nights. And I apologize if I have hurt anyone, like knowingly or unknowingly. Please forgive me if my words were hard. I will try to fix myself first and foremost, my own family, my own children, before I ask anyone. But this is what these 10 nights, they provide us the opportunity to look back to our life. What are we doing? Are we in the camp of Imam Hussain alayhi salam? Are we in the camp of the 12th Imam or not? If these 10 nights, 10 days are past and we are back to our lives and there is no Imam Hussain in my family, there is no Imam Mahdi al-Islam in my family, in my affairs, in my job, in my 9 to 5 work, or for example 24 hours, I have no concern. I do not want a life like this. I want to be in the camp of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. I want to be in the camp of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam for the rest of my life. If I am not, these 10 nights are providing me the opportunity, especially this night that we are facing. Say salawat inshallah. The ayat that I recited in the beginning of this Majlis, this is from Surah Al-Saf. And the ayat, the chapter is 61st chapter, 61st surah of Quran. And the verses that I recited, they are verse number 10, 11 and 12. Here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is offering something. What is it offering? Ya ayyuha bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu. O the people who believe. He's talking to us, inshallah. We are the people who believe. We are the people who are mu'min, inshallah. Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu. Hal adullukum ala tijaratin tunjikum min adabin alim. O you who believe, Shall I guide you to a trade? Shall I guide? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the word tijara. Shall I guide you to a trade? What kind of trade, my Lord? That will save you from the painful torment. That you believe in Allah. You do what? What is this trade, Ya Allah? Tu'minuna billahi wa rasulih. You believe in Allah and you believe in the Rasul. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that He is telling us of a trade in which what we will get? We will have the safety from the torment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first thing is tu'minuna billahi wa rasulih. Matujahiduna fi sabilillah, and struggle in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Believing in Allah, believing in the Prophet is not enough. Allah is saying, if you need safety from my adab, from my torment, then you need to struggle. You need to struggle in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jihad is most of the time people think it's only the jihad that when you fight with a sword, when you're defending your country, you're defending your faith, you're defending your family, you're defending an Imam, you're defending a Prophet, you're defending the principle of Islam. Yes, that fight is actual jihad when you're fighting and you are saving and protecting. And in this process, if someone gives a life, that is the life of Shaheed. But jihad is what? Jihad is a struggle. We all know that when the companions of the Prophet, they were returning from a battle, and when they were returning and some were injured, some were tired. I mean, you can imagine how will be the state of the soldiers when they are coming back from a battle. The Prophet said that Jihad Asghar has been finished. Now let's go back to Jihad Akbar. And all the companions are thinking, we have already fought this war. We are injured, we are tired, we are thirsty, we are hungry. But it was Jihad Asghar. So what is the Jihad Akbar? Even bigger than this. So where Prophet is leading us after finishing this Jihad Asghar? And the Prophet said, Jihad bin Nafs is Jihad Akbar. When we do struggle against our own nafs, that is what? Jihad Akbar. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَتُجَاهِدُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. If I think, I'm not a soldier, I'm not fighting in a battlefield, I have not joined any army, I'm just 9 to 5 person goes to office, drives a taxi, or for example, works at a till. So what I have to do with jihad? Jihad is what? At least we are doing all the time. Jihad Akbar. It is in front of us. We always face these two options. Either we buy the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or we buy His wrath. All the time. There is no single time that, for example, that like a GCSE and A levels or university, there is an exam time that it will be announced and you will sit in this exam of Jihad al-Nafs. That is going on all the time. Day and night. Whether I'm in market, I'm in school, I'm in college, I'm in uni, I'm at workplace, I'm with my friends, I'm with my family, I'm with my wife, I'm with my children. All the time I'm facing these two things. I have got two choices. Either I purchase, I buy pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or ma'adallah, I get His wrath. So Allah is saying, وَتُجَاهِدُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. But here He is mentioning that you have to do something more. Is what? You struggle in the way of Allah بِأَمْوَالِكُمْ, with your wealth. Sometimes people are very good in praying, mashallah, and fasting, and very pious. They look like very religious. But if a moment is in problem, and they come to them, and then they say what? Even when they are able to help that moment, they don't do it. And imagine how bad it is. Or their own family members, their parents, or their brothers, or sisters, or relatives, or next of kin. They are in trouble. And we are qadir to fulfill their need, for example, but still we ignore. that is no use of the rest of the ibadah if they are doing salat and som and hajj. I'm doing all the things for myself. There's a call of Imam, recognize our Shias. Recognize, if I want to recognize a Shia, recognize our Shias on 2 occasions. At the time of salat and at the time of helping a moving brother. If you find them that they are there on these 2 occasions, these are our Shias. And in fact, it defines the whole of the faith, whole of the religion. Just like Imam Ali and Islam was going to a battlefield or somewhere, and he was about to ride his horse. He was mounting on his horse. So he was about to mount his horse, and some Arab came to him, some Baddu or some Arab, he came to him and he said, Ya Ali, ma al-Islam? What is Islam? Imagine Imam is going somewhere, he's about to ride his horse, he was in the process of riding the horse. And he's asking, ma al-Islam? How much time does it have in that moment? But Imam Ali is the person, when you ask, you will get the answer. Whether short or long, depending upon the understanding of the person who asks the questions. The question was, Ma al-Islam? What is Islam? And Imam said, Huwa haqqullah wa haqqul nas. It is the right of Allah and the right of His makhluk is the right of people. And it's the right of Allah and right of people. So Allah SWT is saying, وَتُجَاهِدُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. They struggle in the way of Allah with what? بِأَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ. Not only with أَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ, with their life. So with their selves. That means we need to struggle in the way of Allah with both of the things. And we see in Quran everywhere or most of the places when Allah SWT talks about Aqimus Salat, what does He say? Ya ayyuhallazina aqimus salat wa atuz zakat. Salat, zakat, salat, zakat. They are going together. Okay, we say, what zakat? This is not on me. Yes, zakat in terms of fiqhi terms, it is zakat which is on certain things, certain items. But the other tafasir say, salat represents all the ibadah that I do with my body. And zakat represents all the ibadah that I do with my wealth. So if I summarize all the ibadah which I do with my body, like fasting, like praying, alright, these ibadah I'm doing with my body. So all of these, they are summarized in salah, aqimus salah. And all the ibadah that I do with my wealth, like doing charity, either this is wajib charity, homes, zakat, zakatul fitra, or sadaqah, whether it's a wajib charity or it's a mustahab charity, all the ibadah that I do with my wealth, with my money, so it can be summarized as ba'atul zakat. So brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, He continues, what if you do this? What will happen? This is good for you if you understand. Then what Allah will do? What Allah will do if we do this? يَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبَكُمْ. He will forgive your sins. وَيُدْخِلُكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي. And He will enter in the Jannah تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارِ, in a Jannah, in a garden, underneath which the rivers would flow. Now it's just a symbolic house that you can think of. What a better house or bungalow you have got, where you have got your own rivers flowing in your garden. وَمَسَاكِنَ طَيِّبَةٍ فِي جَنَّاتٍ عَدْنٍ. And what? And He gives you what? He admits you into the gardens under which rivers flow and pleasant dwellings in Aden, paradise. And what is it? ذَلِكَ الْفَوْزُ الْعَظِيمُ. And this is indeed, this one is a great success. فَوْزُ الْعَظِيمُ. So inshallah, in this night, we all know that what happened on this night of Ashura about Abdullah alayhi salam. On the 9th of Muharram, the army of Yazid, they wanted to start the war. But when they wanted to start the war on the 9th of Muharram, Imam Hussain asked Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam, go and ask to delay the war for one more night. Imagine, this is so difficult for Abbas alayhi salam. A warrior like Abbas alayhi salam to ask for delaying something. But it's the order of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And he was a muti. What's so special about Abbas alayhi salam? That he was a muti. He never said, why Ya Mawla or something like this. No. He obeyed. He went and he asked for to delay the fight for one more night. Why? Because Imam Hussain alayhi salam said, I want to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for one more night. Imagine Imam Hussain alayhi salam, who is going to give Jibya Azim, the greatest sacrifice. He also said that I want to worship him for one more night. And it is mentioned in Riwayah that the camps of Imam Hussain Islam, the tents of Imam Hussain Islam, on the night of Ashura, what happened? People would hear from the tents of Imam Hussain Islam, Daviyuhum ka Davi'un Nahab. That means they were, the sounds like bees, like honey bees are buzzing. Subbuhum Qudusun Rabbul Malaikati wa Ruh. Subbuhum Qudusun Rabbul Malaikati wa Ruh. They were doing ibadah like this, like honey bees are buzzing. Imagine what they were doing. But Imam Hussain Islam divided this night in certain parts. He kept one part so that he can meet his family members, because in the last night, Imam Hussain Islam is spending with his family. So he kept one part of the night to say farewell to his family, to meet the women folk of the family, with his sisters, with his wives, with his daughters, with his children. So one part was for that. The other part he kept for ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the other part, the third part he kept as to meet his companions. So what happened on this night? That Imam alayhi salam, in the night, he was meeting his family members, and the Rawaya said, Bibi Zainab Salamullah, she was very worried, she was very concerned. And when Imam told her, and Imam knew that, no, this is not the time of only giving, sometimes you have got somebody is restless or distressed, and then you say, you just calm them down. Imam knew that he has to prepare for the events after Karbala. In some riwayah it is said Imam put his finger on her chest and then she became calm. Or in another riwayah it is mentioned that Bibi Zainab wept so much when she knew that Imam Islam is going to be killed, going to be martyred the next day. She wept and cried so much that she fainted on the ground. The Imam said, Zainab, you should not do like this. You have to leave this caravan, you have to leave this mission after me. So he was meeting with Zainab Salam, he was meeting with other family members. And then what happened in some riwayat is that Bibi Zainab Salam was talking to Imam and she said, Ya Abu Abdullah, have you tested your friends? Have you checked your friends? They will not abandon you tomorrow. Imagine Bibi Zainab Salam, because she has seen that Karbala has not happened suddenly. Yazid had asked Imam Hussain Islam's bayat in Rajab, in Medina, and Imam was writing the letters after letters to the tribes, to the elders of the community, that Yazid is the Khalifa, and he's asking my bayat. This kind of person is the Khalifa of Muslimin. And you are just keeping quiet. And he was asking that you join me. But we know how many people joined him. How many people went with Imam Hussain Islam when he left Medina. How many people came from Makkah when he went to Makkah and he was about to perform Hajj, but when he saw that the soldiers of Yazid, they came in the disguise of the Haji and they were hiding the weapons, their swords underneath their ihram. Imam said, I do not want to destroy the sanctity of the Kaaba with my blood. I can see that if they will kill me in the Haram and they will get the chance. So I do not want to do this. So he changed his Hajj with Umrah and he left. But do we know how many people joined Imam Hussain Islam? They all know what is going to happen. It did not happen quickly. Now Bibi Zainab alayhi salam, she is witnessing that people are not joining. And she already knew that people abandoned Muslim ibn Aqil in Kufa. And he is already martyred. The Bibi said, Ya Abu Abdullah, have you tested your friends? Will they be with you tomorrow? Somehow this statement of Bibi Zainab, it reached the hearing of the companions of Imam Hussain. All the companions of Imam Hussain, they gathered in one tent and they came to Imam Hussain, Ya Rasulullah, would you please come to our tent? Imam Hussain went to the tent of his Ansar and he asked, why are you all sitting here? What happened? And they mentioned that we came to know that our lady Zainab, Sayyida Zainab has told you that have you tested us? Ya Abu Abdullah, we cannot wait till tomorrow. We want to show our wafa and our loyalty for you just right now, so that you just permit us to fight, so that we can fight this Qawm Ashqiya and we can calm down the heart of Lady Zainab Salamullah, that we are not abandoning you, Abu Abdullah. Then Imam Hussain al-Islam said that we all know that story. What did he do? He said, now tonight, anyone who will stay with me, he will be killed tomorrow. There is no turning back. No one will be saved. If you stay with me, you will be killed tomorrow. I do not want this for you if you are not ready for this. So if you want to leave, I am just lifting my allegiance from you. You can take the advantage of the darkness of the night and you can leave from here. Imagine, Imam said, I would not blame you. I would still do your shafa'at. Imagine, he was still guaranteeing them the salvation. And he said, you go, you leave, because they are asking my bayat only. They are thirsty of my blood only. So you can leave. Nobody moved from their place. Then Imam said that what you can do, you can take any one of the child and take them, and as you can see, you're saving the children. No one moved. Imam said, okay, maybe if you are embarrassed in the presence of light, I am putting out the lamp. I am just putting out the lamps. So in the darkness, you don't have to look at me. You just take the advantage of the darkness and leave. And Imam put out the light, and then he just light the lamp again, and what he sees, and now Zuhair ibn Qayn and other ashab, and the brothers of Abbas al-Islam and Abbas al-Islam, all of them, they say, Ya Aba Abdullah, in your defense, if we are killed and burned and torn to pieces or burned, and we come back to Allah, come back to life again by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are killed again, and if it happens for 1,000 times, we will not leave you. We will not leave you. This is one life that we have to give to you. But we are ready to give you thousands of lives. Imagine this kind of ansar, this kind of companion. Then Imam said, the companions like you, neither my father nor my brother Hassan got. The companions like you that I have got. Then Imam told them, that okay, you will be martyred on this place. You will be martyred on that place. You will be martyred on that spot. And he mentioned all of them that they will be martyred at this place. And he also showed them their maqam in Jannah as well. That this is your palace in Jannah. This is your palace in Jannah. This is your maqam in Jannah. And these companions of Imam alayhi salam was at the pinnacle of yaqeen. And now you see, the night is passing. The night is passing. And when the morning came, and there is another person in the army of Yazid. We discussed him 2 nights back. Hurr ibn Yazid al-Riyahi. You know, in the night of the Ashura, the children of Imam, they were saying, Al-Atash, Al-Atash, Al-Atash. Thirst is killing us. Thirst is killing us. The children of Imam were crying like this. And these children, the noise, the sounds of the children, it reached to the ears of Hurr. And Hurr said, Hurr was asking, he was restless. And he was asking the other soldiers and other commanders, are we really going to fight the son of Zahra? Are we really going to kill him? Are we really doing this? And they said, yes, either he has to pay allegiance or we will chop his head off. We will do this. And the Hurr said, now I'm considering myself between the hell and the paradise. I am considering myself in between hell and the paradise. And imagine in the morning, Hurr made up his mind. In the Riwayah, Hurr and his slave and his son, 3 people, or maybe he's alone, or 3 people, they went to Imam alayhi salam. Imagine that the children are thirsty in this situation, facing an army of 30,000 in the desert. And because of whom? Because of his Hurr. And now Hurr is coming towards Imam. Imagine. Imam is Ma'asum. He is the son of Prophet. He is the son of Zahra. He is the Sayyid al-Shabab Ahl al-Jannah. But all other people, were they Ma'asum? The family of Imam, the companions of Imam, not a single person said anything bad to Hurr. And Hurr was coming. He tied up his hands. And he came to Imam alayhi salam. And he said, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, Halli Tawbah. Is there forgiveness for a person like me? Because he was the one who brought them in Karbala. And Imam just lifted up Hurr. And he opened the arms of Hurr. And he said, Anta Hurr fi dunya wal akhir. You are free in this world and in the hereafter. I have forgiven you. Allah has forgiven you. Imagine from which side Hurr has come to which side. This is the night, brothers and sisters. It's the night, it's an opportunity to ask whatever we have done in our lives, whatever we have done in the past. This night can bring us from the total darkness to the total light. What is said in Ayatul Kursi, when we say Ayatul Kursi, Allahu waliyul ladhina amanu yukhrijuhum min adh-dhulumati ila an-nur. Allah is wali of the people. Which people? He brings them from the darkness to the light. This is the night. And Hurr straight away he went to the battlefield. Or in some riwayah, his son went before him. And he was a shaheed. First his son was martyred, and then he was martyred. So brothers and sisters, this was a night, and this night before us. And we also remember this night, a shaheed from the family of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, none other his son Aley Akbar alayhi salam. This is the night that we remember, night of the Muharram. Imagine how difficult it is for the Imam to send a Jawan, a child, a son like Aley Akbar to the battlefield. The Riwayah says when Aley Akbar he came to Imam alayhi salam
And even before that, when Imam was sleeping, before Karbala or in the way of Karbala, Imam just woke up and he said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. These people are marching and the death is marching before them. And the Ali Akbar alayhi salam, he said, he was listening to this and he asked, Alisna al-haq? Oh, the Father, are we not on haq? He said, yes, my son, we are on haq. And he said, what's the difference if the death comes to us or we go to the death? It doesn't matter if the death comes to us or we go towards death. This was the courage of Hazrat Ali Akbar. But imagine, when Ali Akbar al-Islam, he came to Imam al-Islam, he asked permission to go to the battlefield. Now this is very difficult. We have got two riwayah when Ali Akbar asked for the permission to go to the battlefield. One is what? Imam sent him straight away. Why? Because he said, Taqaddum waladi. You have to proceed. You are my son. Because if I save you, how other people will give their lives? And he was not a child. He was young. Jihad was on him. We know in the battlefield, underage children, they fought and they were martyred like Muhammad, like Qasim ibn Hassan. And even Ali al-Asqar, jihad is not on a child, but even the children were being killed, let alone a Jawan like Ali al-Akbar. So in one riwayah, Imam said, Taqaddum Ali, but the other riwayah says what? Imam did not say, I am permitting you, but he raised his hand and he said, Allahumma ashhad, oh Allah, please bear witness. Baraza ila qawmin, I'm sending, or this Jawan, this youth is going towards this qawm. Who is what? Imam? Imam said, Ashbahun nas khalaqana wa khuluqana wa mantiqana bi rasulik, who is in appearance, who is in his speech, who is in his akhlaq, he is the mushabih, he is the shabih of the Rasul. Imagine Imam is praying that I'm sending a young man who resembles your Prophet in looks, in appearance, in his speech, and in his character. He looks like the Prophet of Allah. And he said, whenever we desire to do a ziyarah of the Prophet, we would look at his face. Imagine this son Imam has sent to the battlefield. And now Ali Akbar decided to fight. He was fighting. He is thirsty of 3 days. And he was facing the soldiers who were ready, who have already quenched their thirst. They were not thirsty. They were not hungry. They were ready. But Imam Ali Akbar alayhi salam, he was fighting. He was fighting courageously. In some riwayah, he killed about 80 or 100 enemies of Islam. And what happened? Imam Hussain al-Islam was just looking at him. He was just going from one side to another side. In those riwayat, in those traditions in which it is said that his mother, the mother of Ali Akbar, was in Karbala. In those riwayat, it is said that Bibi Layla, when she looked at the condition of Imam, she prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh, who returned Yusuf to Yaqub, please return Ali Akbar to Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Please return the son of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And what happened? Ali Akbar, he came back from the battlefield. Imagine, Ali Akbar, he came back and he has killed so many enemies of Islam when he was thirsty. And when he came to Imam Hussain alayhi salam and he said, Ya Abata al-atashu qad qatilni. This thirst is killing me. This thirst is killing me. Saqal al-hadidu ajhadni. And this weight of my armor and the weight of these weapons, it is hurting me. And he said, can I have some water? Can I have some water? So imagine the mazlumiyat of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. He is a Saqi, a Kawthar. His young son, He's asking for water and he doesn't have water. In some riwayat it is mentioned that he said, Ati lisanik, O Ali Akbar, give your tongue in my tongue. And what happened? He touched the tongue of Imam and he said, Baba, you are more thirsty than me. You are more thirsty than me. And then what happened? The Imam gave him a ring. Ali Akbar, just put this ring in your mouth. Maybe it will calm down your thirst. Ali Akbar went back to battlefield and now he's fighting. And suddenly what happened? Shot a spear from a side. And then what happened? The knife of the spear broke into the chest of Ali Akbar. Ali Akbar fell from the horse and he said, Ya Abada, alayka minni salam. Oh Father, take salam from me. He did not even say Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah, so that he would expect an answer from his father. He did salam in a way that this is the last salam. Please do not do zahma of coming to me. Ya Abada alayka minni salam. To you, praise be to you, O Aba Abdullah. But what happened? As soon as Imam Hussain heard this, he was standing and he fell on the ground. And he said, Ala dunya ba'daka al-afa. This world has become darkened after you. Is dunya par khaak hai tere baad beta. Imam Hussain, it was very difficult for him. For this moment. It was as if he lost his eyesight. He could not see. He was saying, Ya Ali. He had no idea whether he was calling his son Ali Akbar or he was calling his father from Najaf. Ya Ali, give me courage. And he was going, and he was walking. He was falling on the ground, falling on the ground. He went to Imam Ali Akbar and listened. He went near him. And what happened? Then he saw Ali Akbar in this state. Some riwayat said that Ali Akbar was hiding something under his hands. He was hiding the knife of the spear from his father. Then Imam Hussain realized and he saw there's a knife, there's a blade of the spear in the heart of Ali Akbar. And he tried to pull it out. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Bismillah wa billahi wa ala millati Rasulillah. Imagine the time of Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam when he was slaughtering Nabi Ismail alayhi salam. He put a bandage, he blindfolded him. He was covering his eyes. Imagine Imam Hussain alayhi salam, he has got his son in front of him. He has no cover on his eyes. Imagine, he pulled out the blade of the spear and the blade came out and so the soul of Ali Akbar. It is very difficult for Imam Hussain to lift the body of a young man. He was trying. May Allah do not make any father to see this kind of the situation of his young son. He was trying to lift him. And then what happened? He was just hugging him. And his feet was dragging on the sand of Karbala. But when he was closer to the tents of Karbala, to the Haram, he said, Oh, the children of Banu Hashim, oh, the children of Hussain, please come and help me in lifting the body of Ali Akbar. Tonight was the night when we have finished this. Tomorrow will be the day of Messiah only. I would ask, and any moment in each other, knowingly or unknowingly, my words. If I have hurt anyone, please forgive me. Please forgive me for the sake of Imam Hussain. And inshallah, Allah SWT accept your azadari coming to this Imam Baraka, doing all this ibadah. Allah SWT accept from all of us. परवरदिगार मोमिनीन यहाँ पर आए हैं, उनकी इबादत को कबूल फरमा ले मालिक। परवरदिगार आज शब आशुरा है, आज वो शब है जिस दिन तूने हुर की किस्मत बदल दी। परवरदिगार हमारी किस्मत भी बदल दे, हमें भी इमाम हुसैन के सामने खैमे में ले जा। परवरदिगार हमें उनके कैंप में शामिल कर दे। परवरदिगार हमें दुनिया में उनकी ज़ियारत नसीब अता फरमा, आखिरत में उनकी शफाअत नसीब अता फरमा। परवरदिगार इमाम हुसैन के बेटे इमाम मेहदी अलैहिस्सलाम ग़ैबत में, परवरदिगार उनके ज़हूर में ताजील और आसानी फरमा। हम सबको उनके असहाब और अंसार का करार फरमा। परवरदिगार जो लोग भी मरीज़ हैं, परवरदिगार उनको इस रात के सत्ते में बाकी बीमारी करबला का हर शोला करबला शिफा कामिला व आजिला अता फरमा। परवरदिगार जो बच्चे बच्चियां हमारे किसी भी परेशानी के अंदर, परवरदिगार अपनी औलाद की जिनकी परेशानी है, परवरदिगार रिश्तेदारों की परेशानी है, रिस्क की कोई भी परेशानी है, परवरदिगार इस रात के सत्ते में दुनिया व आखिरत के मसाइल को हल फरमा दे मालिक। परवरदिगार हमें जिंदगी दे तो मोहब्बत मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद में, और हमें मौत दे तो मोहब्बत मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद में। एक सूरह फातिहा तमाम मरहूमी तमाम शुहदाए करबला की इस बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन अर्रहमानिर रहीम मालिकि यौमिद्दीन इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन इहदिnas siratal mustaqim Inshallah, after the Urdu Majlis, there will be A'mal of the Night of Ashura, and tomorrow will be the A'mal Ashura in the daytime, at the Zuhr time, and we will have the announcement, and inshallah we'll do it together. Brother Muhammad wa alayhi salawat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون